Hi. Uh, how's it going, everybody? Take me to church. I was like a dog at the try of your lives. Check out all this garbage I made. Check out all this garbage. Wow. Look at all this garbage. I've been getting all these doodads. All these doodads. And I'm adding more doodads. Look at all these doodads. I have so many doodads now. A doodadery. Okay. Back to what I was doing. Okay, Oh, I guess we're... Anyways. Gold. So, fugium and fakium into gold. And then this right here is the uranium, platinum, and pure ferrite into lemium, which becomes gold. Okay. And this right here was platinum, but now it's gold and, oxygen into pyrite. Okay. And then the pyrite... This right here is creating Herox, which then becomes silver, okay? Ammonia, ionized cobalt, and platinum equals Herox. The reason why I know this recipe is because right here, if you craft Herox, it's ammonia and ionized cobalt, but if you add platinum, it makes it cheaper. So platinum is used to make it cheaper. As opposed to 60, it's 30, so you can get twice as much. And then pyrite becomes ferrite dust. And we're getting pyrite from the gold. And the indium turns into a whole lot of chromatic metal. A 1:30 ratio. Okay? And the indium multiplies with itself, as does all special stellar metal. And if you combine a stellar metal like indium with ferrite dust, it goes straight to magnetic ferrite. And all that. And I have it color coded a bit, you see, for the gold. And then right here with the carbon, yeah, it's red, you see. And carbon plus oxygen equals condensed carbon, but a whole lot, 2:5 ratio. And condensed carbon and oxygen equals a 1:6 ratio. And then you convert the condensed carbon back to carbon, like so. And over here, the mineral bulb and the sodium nitrate equals more sodium nitrate. Okay? And the sodium nitrate and mordite equals marrow bulb. And the marrow bulb and oxygen equals ionized cobalt. You see? And over here, the nitrogen and salt equals kelp sac. Kelp sac and any plant plus condensed carbon equals oxygen. A whole lot of it. All right, that's all good there. And a bunch of my resources are back now because time has passed. And I think I'm able to generate more resources. Because I think platinum is where the money is. A certain amount of the money is in platinum. And everything kind of funnels around getting gold and then getting gases and multiplying things. And in the end, I just need any gas and oxygen. And I can do everything else internally for the most part. And I can store elements in the plant format. I'm not sure if it's condensed or not. But an element plus oxygen equals a plant, and then a plant plus salt equals the element. Certain recipes call for the element, and certain recipes call for the plant. And the big way to make money is by crafting these two different items that are worth like 15 million each. And right now I'm just about at 2 billion monies. And for the most part, it's a bunch of little doodads that mix together. All these little special alloys and stones that are composed of other alloys and stones. But their basic level it's all pretty basic. It'll be like basically an element plus ferrite, you know, which is metal, a metallic alloy of some other compound, like paraffinium and ferrite. But if you add a better ferrite, like magnetized ferrite, you get more. And if you throw in platinum, I think you get even more. You know? Of this special thing. So again, we have this whole tier of materials. Like dirty bronze. It's pyrite and pure ferrite. Easy peasy. You see? Ammonia and cobalt. You see? That's a bit different, but you saw that I'm generating cobalt with those mushrooms. This is uranium and ferrite. Okay. Phosphorus and cobalt. Dioxide and cobalt. All that stuff. In the end. So, I'm swimming in dioxide and cobalt. Okay. I want to do something funky here. Let's start over here on the far end, or right here. I need to first take a big stack of this frost garbage and break it down. Take a dioxide, okay? And then the dioxide we want to combine with the ionized cobalt. There it is. Hold on. Dioxide and ionized cobalt. Oh. It's because you normally can't do it in a refiner unless you throw in the platinum. See, this is where the platinum comes into play. It lets me do it in mass production. It lets me do it, first of all. And it makes it cheaper. Even though platinum is expensive. But it's only 5 platinum. Sorry, it's only 1 platinum. Okay. And 1 ionized cobalt and 1 dioxide for 1 grantine. Alright. And the grantine becomes gold, I think. A little bit. Gold or silver. One of the two. And that works out very well. See? That whole number. And that's what should be happening in the background, you know? Boom, boom, boom. Like that. Let me clear up this room over here. Like that. With every floor that has crops, or in theory, whatever, I can come back and grab more. That's where it could be. That's where it could flow toward. Upstairs is the selenium. Here is the frost garbage. Right before dioxide, it's, I think, ammonia. I think. Let's find out if ammonia flows first of all. I'll get some more. If ammonia plus the ferrite dust, what does this do? Yeah, ammonia plus the ferrite, so it's ammonia. Now, certain things mix with. I think this should probably happen downstairs. I'm gonna have this grantine business happen downstairs near the ionized cobalt area, or I should move the ionized cobalt area elsewhere. And I am trying to do all the stuff downstairs too. Let me pull this back. I'll pull it back.
No free slots in suit inventory. No free slots in suit inventory.
Okay, so it seems like I have to be able to combine everything with either sodium nitrate or ferrite. Or sorry, ionized cobalt or ferrite. So, this is uranium. Alright. Uranium. I think pyrite turns into uranium as well. Pretty sure. Okay, so uranium with ferrite becomes, of course, or not of course, pyrite. Because I was saying before, an element plus metal equals the alloy, but that's not how it works at all. Because usually, an element plus ferrite dust converts it into the next element. But pure ferrite's different, I guess. For the most part, let's just see here. Oh boy. I can look at the end items and view it backwards, like this. I can look at the end items like, I need a lot of mordite, so I'm killing things, alright? And we are cultivating it, of course, but I'm getting a lot of mordite from killing things, and that has to happen at all times. And the fungal mold, which is here, combines together to make acid. We have thermal condensate. I have to convert. So at my sulfur base, I have to make thermal condensate, and I have to make condensed carbon. Right? Mm-hmm. At the oxygen base, we're going to be making carbon and condensed carbon as well. And yeah, I can't multiply a base gas. I can shift over a base gas, and then the nitrogen becomes nitrogen salt. Okay. And see, the heat capacitor is derived from a bunch of plants. So in essence, oxygen infused with the element selenium and for us and the dioxide and phosphorus. And polyfiber, cactus flesh, and star bulb. So the plants I have to have cactus flesh and star bulb. Sorry, cactus flesh and selenium have a long growth cycle. Star bulb isn't as long, but it's still And then frost. And then we have to have fungal mold. Okay? And Mordite's optional. But that leaves see if I look right here. The audio's messing up. Gamma weed isn't used in its basic element, but uranium is here and there. Fungal mold, yes. Frostwort, selenium, yep. Cactus, star bramble. So it's really just the gamma weed that isn't used in its plant format. The rest of these are just luxury items, and the gut rot becomes the fakium, and the mordite is both. They're really just luxury items. That's why I had that floor, the first kind of floor there. That's appropriate. And then beyond that, we need the fungal cluster, frostwort, selenium, cactus, star bramble. Okay? And this audio is very annoying. We'll be making a lot of money. So this whole area is set. You see, it's pretty awesome. This whole area that's just like a thing I put down. It's so cool. Now I want to redo this area back over here. This was all for the chlorine into salt production, but that's been sort of mastered. Chlorine into salt, chlorine into salt. This whole back row. Let me replace this one. And this is all going to be like a tealish color. Yeah, because it's, you know, chlorine and salt. Up to a certain point, I think up to this is still salt. I think this is it. And then we have, that's it. I'm gonna put a wall right here. And I'm going to make this one open. There it is, nice and clean. That whole corridor. This whole section right here. Cool. And this whole thing on the left hand side can be a window. Right there. This is a wall. Good. That's chlorine. very nice. And now we're back here. So this is used to rip the the phosphorus from the selenium, and vice versa, to then turn the phosphorus into uranium.
No free slots in suit inventory.
And now I'm going to take this big mountain of dioxide and turn it into phosphorus. Oh boy. Just like that. I'll get rid of this. There it is. It's good. Back here, back here, back here, back here. Now I'll move all this business elsewhere. I'm going to move all this business elsewhere. Okay, all of this is going to be gone. That's great. Cactus flesh, oxygen. This is about taking the cactus flesh and pulling out the pyrite. But in this case, I don't really want to. If I mix the cactus flesh and nope. Fine. I have to have the same pattern in every stall. But not right now. But I'm just going to leave this one open. I'll leave the bottom one salt in preparation. But I need my cactus right now, a little bit. Until we're swimming in extras. Okay. That's for the gamma weed. Gamma root. Yep. Is what's going to happen. Okay. And then this end. Has been taken over. That's fine. This side's fine. So this right here is to strip the plant from, and I can add a second row behind it. In every single one. So it's like 2 in every one. And right here, I'll be doing the gas conversion in just a bit. But you don't belong there. Alright, so this is stripping, and this right here is going to be creating phosphorus into the plant. And more dioxide. Like the opposite side. Like the opposite. It's crazy. And this whole thing over here. And then you. Radon. Swap it with the empty room. Okay, another industrial room right, or refiner room right here. This is about getting more phosphorus from dioxide. And then we get the dioxide from the plant. Yeah, so we want this next one. And it's all going to be a weird little system that's backwards and forwards, reliant upon more plants or crops or elements. And a whole lot of salt. Yep, like that. That's dioxide, and then dioxide into phosphorus will be right here. Using ferrite dust. Speaking of ferrite dust. Whoa. What? What's happening? Oh. I'll get more rusted metal.
Technology recharge.
There's a bunch of ferrite dust in there. And here we're gonna get some pyrite, I guess. Like right here. This can be. I get pyrite from different sources, so pyrite. Alright. Pyrite into dust. And then dust into. Well, I guess just dust. I guess we can. Just dust it up. Yeah. One back over here can be gold into. Right there. And this one. Pyrite. Pyrite. Mm-hmm. Sure. And then the dust has to eventually become. This is different here. The uranium.
No free slots in suit inventory.
The dust. With indium. Like that. To get it magnetized. And then the magnetized stuff right here will make itself unmagnetized. Right there. And then oh yeah. More pyrite. We just don't want to run out. Whenever these things are all topped off, then it'll be better. It'll be easier and less maintenance. Indium. A whole lot of ferrite. And then I want this indium. I'm going to combine this with the gold and silver. I'd like to have a designated area for that. Perhaps this portion. What's up with you? And there's my indium multiplying it. Yep. But I want it to have more room, so let's move this whole thing back. I like to have more walk room. And this one too. Aronium. Paraffinium. And pure ferrite. So now I'll go ahead and put a wall right here. Or just some objects. I've been using these objects and so forth. It's better. Base out of range. Oh. Let's see, it's like overlapping a little bit. Okay, so right over here. Okay, so now right here we're going to combine the indium, not the activated stuff. So I'm going to split up this indium over and over and over again. If I could. Like right here, And right here. Like right there. And then it should work out. Just like that. Well, that works. And back here as well. The ferrite dust. And this is sort of generating dust, I think. I think this might be my route to generate dust. Because this is going to make the magnetic ferrite, you see? A whole lot of it. And then... because these three should be enough. And yeah, I can have this back wall of 3. And this one can be removed. So now this right here is going to be indium plus gold and silver. Boom. And now let's get more.
Technology recharge.
Delicious. Big old pile of silver. You see? I can just top it off. And same thing with the gold. So I'm using gold and silver to multiply the indium. Mm-hmm. And I guess I'm going to just slap any one of these in here. It's Lemon Town. Lemon Town. Easy peasy. It's all gold. Paraffinium from the sulfurine. And then that's gold. And that's gold. Indium on the back wall. right here. This is, yeah. Turning the indium into more chromatic metal. Using gold and silver. Very good. And this other one doesn't need to exist. Expansion. Right there. And now let me look again.
Technology recharge.
Dirty bronze is pyrite. Auronium is paraffinium. Dioxide. Okay, how are we looking over here? Of course. Gotta multiply the slop. Boom. And slap it back in. And across the board. Indium magnetized ferrite. So this should generate ferrite. Right? Right. This should just generate ferrite. Mm-hmm. And this is going to unpack the magnetized stuff. Mm-hmm. Into the pure stuff. Yep. Just like that. In other words, we are generating ferrite out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. So this is ferrite dust straight into magnetized ferrite, but we need the Yep. This is all pure ferrite, pure ferrite, pure ferrite, and then ferrite dust. Right? Hold on. Yeah, there's going to be pure ferrite into ferrite dust. Oh, I combine maybe. Oh, wait. Oh, I know. I combine oxygen with. I still need pure ferrite. Okay, I do. But I combine oxygen with the magnetized stuff. Stop. Boom. Right here, you can get a ton of rust directly. And then That's fine. Because I still want the... Where am I? Pure ferrite, pure ferrite, pure ferrite. Yes. So I'm going to convert the magnetized ferrite into rust. Directly. Never mind. Oh, sorry, no. The pure ferrite. So we're going to go down one. There we go. See? That works. Pure ferrite into rust. Okay, I'll do 3 of those. And this should generate all of the ferrite I need, I think, for free. From this operation. Pure ferrite into rust, because it's multiplying as long as I have oxygen. You see? Let's do the let me go back over here. Yep. You feed this back into itself. And oof. This is the indium multiplying. Okay, I'm going to remove these 3. And rusted metal, rusted metal, rusted metal. And some equipment. And then the rusted metal into bada boom. Can I multiply it with more oxygen? Probably. Nope. Okay, it just opens up. It becomes a whole lot of dust. Rusted metal, rusted metal, rusted metal. Pure ferrite. Bunch of ferrite dust. This is from this gold action over here. Now let me see what I can do here. And over yonder, what is up with this? Nothing. And then you, dioxide. Oh, yes. Now the dioxide right here. Is going to combine with all this ferrite dust we now have in infinite abundance, right? Yes. There you go. There's my phosphorus, and then right here. Okay, right here we have the phosphorus being pulled from the plant. And then the phosphorus becoming uranium. If I wanted to. Yep. Just trying to generate an infinite amount of certain things. The circuit board now. Star bulb. You know. So let's make some star bulb. Paraffinium. Okay, so let's get the sulfurine online. First, starting off with nitrogen into sulfurine. Boom. And then sulfurine. Into with magnetized ferrite, a whole lot of paraffinium. Boom. Yeah. And I can double that up. Right here. Yeah. Okay. Magnetized ferrite, please. Right over here. Sulfurine. Paraffinium. Paraffinium. I can do one more. Sulfurine and... oh, what's that? Nothing. Sulfurine and... there it is. There's the paraffinium. Dook-a-dack-a-dook-a-dack, dook-dook-dook, and dook-a-dook-a-dook-a-dack, dook-a-dook. Cool. And now more gold. I now have a ton of uranium. And the uranium. Chromatic metal. Chromatic metal. And chromatic metal. Multiplying. And this should produce all of the material I need. Pure ferrite. Pure ferrite. This is rusted metal. I have a whole lot of it now. And now ferrite dust. From the rust. And ferrite dust from the rust. And ferrite dust from the rust. And ferrite dust from the rust. Whew. Yep, magnetized ferrite into pure ferrite. split that in half, stack that back up, and go again. And the ferrite dust. Yeah, so the ferrite dust should be right over here. This is all dust. And then the room next to it like that. Just like that. Just like that. So it doesn't need to be here. We just need the indium. That's all we need. I'll get rid of this one. And now we have the rusted metal. The pure ferrite. Indium. Pure ferrite. Rusted metal, rusted metal, rusted metal. Ferrite, 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 ferrite. From the rust. And the dust is mixed with indium. Just like that. Oh, the dust is mixed with indium. Dust is mixed with indium. Bam. Hail Mary. The dust is mixed with indium. Boom. The dust is mixed with the indium soup. Skipping a couple levels. We're multiplying the indium. multiplying the indium. And we are multiplying the chromatic metal with the gold and silver. Yep. And then a big old stack right here. A big old stack of everything in the world. Bam. Big stack of silver.
Technology recharge.
Chromatic metal. Here you go, buddy. Bam. Yep. Damage subscriptions available to just Facebook. I'm not monetized on. I lost monetization on YouTube, and I'm not big enough on X for subscriptions. But I'm monetized on X, but not big enough for subscriptions. And I lost monetization on YouTube. There it goes. Very nice. Okay, that's going to be multiplying there. And then, whoa. The rusted metal. Yeah, that's not going to happen there, but it's going to happen back here. Magnetized ferrite. So let's clear out these. Very nice again. And then this room is... Let's go for the industrial room. Okay, I'll put a industrial lathe right here. A. Whatever. Industrial lathe. Alright, so what do we got? Indium. Yes, and then we're gonna mix the dust from right here directly over here. Is it your birthday, Mary? Happy birthday. I think you mentioned that yesterday. Something like that. There it goes. Very nice. All right. Rusted metal. Yes. Pure ferrite into rusted metal. Ugh. One, two, and then I can have this one right here somewhere. How about this one? Right here. Gotta demagnetize this stuff. And then you. That's what those two are for. And then you, Allison. Boom. That's fine. Pure ferrite. I guess I can remove this one. Empty room. And the refiner room. And let's demagnetize this stuff. Yep, and then boom boom, and then pow pow. That'll last for a bit. That'll last for a bit, and then the rust will de-rust, like so. The rust will de-rust. Oh, everything's wonderful. I love this garbage. The rust will de-rust. De-rusting the rust. Awesome. Okay, that's all that. And then we will then take the dust and then magnetize it. I'm trying to multiply resources and get free stuff, free money by the title of the stream. Free money, Jonestown. You see what's happening here, camera guy? There's ways to multiply things, and it's just really cool. It's just so cool. And then we flip it and reverse it. So it then gets unmagnetized. Like boom. And in this process, we're going to end up with just a bunch of free stuff. A boom. Boom, boom, boom. Swim and flam and touch the ground. Yes. Oh, I love it. And then, with the pure ferrite mixed with the oxygen, we get the rust, and it goes zippity-doo-dah. Let me hear you say way-oh. Oh. Well, I'll explain what I'm doing in just a second. Once it's all arranged, I'm still moving stuff around. Then I'll explain it. Okay? I'm multiplying things. I know. I'm not explaining. Give me a second. The pure ferrite. Okay, boom, boom. And then you combine the pure ferrite with the oxygen. Oh my gosh. Yep. Boom, boom. Okay, pure ferrite with the oxygen. Okay, so. My poor little brain. Poor little. It's about gold and silver. And gases. And so forth. So. You see, you have the stellar metals: copper, indium, cadmium, emerald, indium, right, and copper. The best one, I believe, is indium. You got cadmium and emerald. They're all basically the same thing, and they're all basically there to give you chromatic metal whenever you process it. Okay, and chromatic metal is used in quite a few things across the board. For me, I'm using chromatic metal whenever I build those automatic harvesters, and I need a whole lot of them. So I need a lot of chromatic metal, a lot of magnetized ferrite, a lot of metal plates, a lot of this and that to get these big factories online. Okay, so I have to multiply a bunch of chromatic metal and other things. And other things. Now, in terms of getting rich, as far as I can tell, I'm making money various ways. It's about, the fusion igniter and the stasis device, and it requires a bunch of garbage. The portable reactor, blah blah blah, and blah. Okay, all these doodads. It's about getting a bunch of resources, and I'm finding the bottlenecks. So I'm trying to address the bottlenecks, and let's find a bottleneck right now. So step one, I'll craft whatever I can craft. Let's make 1, 2. I'll make 5 fusion igniters, and I'll make 5 stasis devices. But I can't. Okay, cryogenic chamber, I hit a wall, and then cryogenic chamber, living glass, I hit a wall, and living glass is lubricant, and that is fakium and gamma root. So if my bottleneck were gamma root, I would want more of that, and that is uranium. And uranium, to turn it into gamma root, it would be uranium plus oxygen for a bunch of gamma root. The fakium, I'll have to grow the gut root. Or I can take the mordite that I get from killing a bunch of bad guys, or from the mordite root, and you work that and you get like 4 times as much. Fakium, I think it's mordite plus oxygen. So I can just generate that out of the blue. To get more uranium, I have different routes to get uranium, okay? I can either process phosphorus with ferrite to get uranium. Or process radon into uranium, because you can. And if I don't have radon, I have to make radon out of sulfurine, and sulfurine out of nitrogen. So if I have extras, it rotates over. Now the extra generating free resources comes like this. So check out all this garbage I've been building. Ooh ah, oh my gosh. So wow, check out that thing. Whatever. So the star bramble mixed with salt equals paraffinium, and paraffinium mixed with oxygen equals star bramble. And then if you want to multiply it, you got to plant a bunch, and then you get more over time, or you get it from a different source from top or bottom. Now it's all about getting gold. See, this is why gold's important, because gold is just any resource, and there's different ways to get gold. And gold is special because gold plus oxygen equals a bunch of pyrite. So you're generating extra resources with the oxygen because you get extra pyrite. You see, versus other things. So check out this area right here with oxygen. You can get free oxygen with kelp, any plant, and condensed carbon. You get a whole lot, more than what you ever need. Kelp, any plant, and condensed carbon equals all the oxygen you ever need, and it multiplies. It's self-sustaining, good to go. As long as you have nitrogen at the base of it to get more kelp, but it's more than what you need, and salt, you know. And then the carbon right here, you can multiply carbon by combining carbon with oxygen, because it's a 2-to-5 ratio, so you get a bit more condensed carbon. And then condensed carbon, you mix that with oxygen, and you get times 6. And then you break the condensed carbon back down into carbon. So that's free carbon. Yay. And over here, marrow bulb that you get from caves mixed with sodium nitrate equals more sodium nitrate. Okay? And sodium nitrate mixed with mortite equals more marrow bulb. And marrow bulb mixed with oxygen equals ionized cobalt. Hey. Yay. And so you have stuff like Herox, Lemium, dirty bronze, you know, that those things, and they're all very, very simple, sort of. If you look at it right here, if you look at the recipe here, you know, like this right here becomes silver, okay? So basically, you are converting paraffinium and cobalt into silver. And we are generating cobalt out of the blue through sodium nitrate and some other garbage. But that is a self-sustaining loop over there. This is a self-sustaining loop. As long as I have a bit of, where is it? As long as I have just, and for the sodium nitrate, the sodium nitrate is just nitrogen and nitrogen and ferrite. Right? Yeah. Of different variety. So it's just about nitrogen. Okay? And so that's one route to get it. So I can get that through that route, and we have infinite cobalt and platinum. So basically, the recipe for some of these things, like that Herox stuff, it was ammonia and cobalt, right? 50 and 50. But if you put it in the refiner, you only use half as much, or like 30, whatever, as opposed to whatever. Like, so this right here, if you put this into the refiner, it will cost only like 30 or so pyrite plus 30 or so ferrite and 5 platinum. So platinum makes it cheaper. There. And then you're generating the stuff. So I'm trying to generate a stack of the lemium and a stack of the aronium and a stack of everything pretty much, and then convert that over to gold and silver and convert that into platinum, and use the platinum to multiply some of my stuff here and there, and the gold and the silver can multiply the chromium or the chromatic metal. And the fakium becomes mordite, I believe. What if I threw that in there? One second. That whole thing. Well, I'm trying to like rearrange everything to make it smoother. So you like this little light box as a little wall thing, and this weird Atlantidium refiner in the middle, because these are all four refiners working together, and this kind of ties it in. I put the billboard in front to make it better, and these little server racks are really cool looking. And because this deals with, well, I'm gonna get that bubble machine, because this is where the kelp is going on, the kelp production. It kind of helps to separate these structures. Yep. And so nitrogen into sulfurine, right, with oxygen, you know, and then the sulfurine into radon, and the radon into uranium, and then the uranium, if I wanted to, as another source for pyrite. So I have pyrite coming in from different sources, but the most efficient source is gold, because you end up with more resources. But now, the last thing I just developed there in the corner, what's this over here? Yeah, so I moved this whole operation to the far corner. That's what I was just doing. That's why this area over here is kind of empty. I was moving that to the far corner because I needed more real estate. The, indium multiplication. And then this whole section over here, which was colored but is no longer colored, it's for the salt expansion. We all know about that. Salt. See, salt and oxygen equals a whole lot of chlorine. Okay? And then the chlorine and oxygen equals more chlorine times 6 or whatever. And then the chlorine breaks down to become salt times 2. And the salt plus any plant equals the raw material. So if you have extra, so in the end, it's about planting a big field of whatever plant, so you have the raw material, because you could then convert the raw material to any other material, or to the other core elements using ferrite dust. We're using ferrite to convert the materials between each other. So, like right here, I'm trying to. One second. So the way I see it is the frost crystal equals dioxide, which equals phosphorus. You know? And phosphorus equals selenium, and so forth and so on. And if there's different ways to attack bottlenecks. If I need something, there's different ways to get it from the top or bottom. I'm trying to have this whole thing be organized better. But yeah, this corner now is, I think, going to be self-sustaining. So this right here, the indium plus gold and silver equals times 30, you see? Times 30. Times 30. That's crazy. For chromatic metal. 30. 30. And because you can use the chromatic metal, so this is where the multiplication comes in. Are you ready? This is the key. Because you are able to multiply like indium indefinitely by combining. If you combine, look, see? The star metals like copper, indium, cadmium, and emerald, if you combine them with chromatic metal, you double them. Or you're converting, basically. You're doubling. You're consuming the chromatic metal to create more indium. Okay? And because you're getting times 30, you're using that scrap of gold and silver to multiply the kaboom, and then all of a sudden you get more. And because over here, because if you combine ferrite dust with a stellar metal, you get magnetized ferrite. So you're skipping the pure ferrite stage. Normally it goes from ferrite dust to pure ferrite to magnetized ferrite, but with by combining the ferrite dust with the antistellar metal, in this case indium, it goes straight to magnetized. And then from magnetized, you then demagnetize it, and you get twice as much ferrite. You get twice as much ferrite. And then you take the ferrite and you combine it with oxygen, and you get rust. And then you break down the rust, and you get ferrite dust. You get that? And because like the metal is basically any element, because you're converting one element to another using the dust. You know what I mean? And it's used in the other recipes to create those big items that are worth a lot, that become silver. That's where it all comes from. But I'm trying to organize everything to make it better and smoother and more understandable. Yep. 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 Oh, yeah. Yes, sir. So wealthy. So now, let's head on back down to my planets. Okay? I think I've done enough here. I've arranged things, and it's going to be feeding into itself. It's an evolving process over time. Mm-hmm. And I made a bunch more materials here. I don't want to spend everything. I want the option of planting on a planet. So in the end, I need to have a base on in different biomes. And I want to have a whole forest. It's gonna be really good looking. The end state is to have it be really good looking. And here I'm planting stuff indoors. It takes up a certain amount of real estate and so forth and so on, and a certain amount of resources. But if I plant in the native biome, it only costs the element plus the plant. So phosphorus plus selenium in a hot biome. Okay, so I'm going to put away some stuff here. Trying to be who you want me to be. Gonking, gonking, ging, gong. I've become so See, I'm putting away the base elements, but not that. Base elements, well, I guess not the kelp either. But there's only so much room in the other box, so we have to put this stuff away in certain arrangements. I have a lot of chromatic metal, and that's pretty awesome. It's almost worth $1 million per. And I'm sort of done with the trading operation, the trading post, because that's a lower amount of money. And it's eating up my boxes a little bit. $5 million for a stack of 9,999 platinum. It's pretty good. Yep. And oh my gosh. Oh man, I am a wealthy guy. Gong ging, gang, gong. Mystery meat stew. Okay, so, mining cycle, luxury cycle. This is another temporary box, I guess. But not really. But I'm treating it that way. So it's time to move on. cold tech. You are hot tech. I'm not sure where the dirty bronze sits in the equation. And let's move on. I'm not going to get these resources here. And I'm using that sound effect. The weird sound effects in the background. Okay, so let's head on down to... I'll tell you what. One sec. These other bases are starting to look really dinky compared to my new stuff. Let's stop on by the cadmium spot, because I think the flowers should be back by now. Yay, are you still growing? Oh yeah, see? That's the goal here. To have it outside, you know? Cool. I'll go ahead and fill up these two. I'm trying to avoid using these, you know?
Technology recharge.
Trying to avoid it, because really, it's not as much these days.
Technology recharge.
All my condensed carbon's not on me.
Technology recharge. Technology recharge.
Yay. In the end. It's got to have a whole field of it. There. Moving on. These nitrogen bases are dinky. I have to remake them in the future sometime. According to my new standards. See, whenever you're up and running with the oxygen, you could just use the kelp method. Still need a bunch of gases, though. Very dinky. And I was live for 18 hours yesterday. So Grok, imagine the video creation tool for X got a new update yesterday. It's phenomenal. Revolutionary. Big deal. Normally you make a video based upon a text or an image and text, so forth. But now you can extend the video using the video that you just made. Eventually you'll be able to, I'm sure, give them a video to then build off of. Because it's able to understand. The point here is that it's able to understand what's in the video. That's the cool part. From what I've seen, if you say, extend this for 5 seconds, you understand the meaning of that? Imagine you have a party. Things are happening. Chaos. Freeze frame. You say, extend 5 seconds. It has to know not just the pixels of the current moment, it has to know all the previous pixels. And all the previous sound forms. You know? The logic of the scene. Because if it's just a single image, it could be chaos before that, you know? Sheer chaos. And that's usually what we've been dealing with when you make a video. You just gotta hope it works out. And describe things correctly. Person walks into a room and puts their hat on a table. Person walks forward and puts their coat down. All of a sudden it's a different person. You know? But here's the same person. Yay. Same person. Okay, let's go down to... I don't know if you saw this base here, but this is the base I made yesterday. This is how all of my bases are going to look like this. So all of my bases are going to look like this or better. Okay? Are you ready? This is how all of my bases are going to look. Because of my new parts. Or better. Like this or better. Like this or better. Ooh, ah. Mm-hmm. So I have a bunch of sulfurine and the salt. I'll check this vendor on the wall. I don't have to buy stuff these days as much because I'm kind of wealthy. Yeah, I'm not going to do it now. I've gotten over the hurdle. I planted a bunch of cactus here. See? Look at these little huts. Billboards. Wibble wobbling around and stuff. All these roof doodads. Oh my gosh. Okay. Next. Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Yeah. Yep, the old days of something like this. You know, this is how it first starts off with the little habitats, but they work out well because you can plug stuff into them.
Technology recharge. Technology recharge. Technology recharge.
Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to grow a bunch of cactus here. Cactus has a 16-hour growth cycle.
Recharge.
It's just crazy. Hmm. Yeah. That's all good to go. There's a bunch of nanites around the corner, and I think I'll go ahead and pick those up. That's so cool. The spaceship is so cool. I gave it a few more upgrades recently. But I'll be right back, okay? And we'll continue on a bit more. Oh, yeah. Okay, here we are. So I was on some other planet for a while, and it was awesome. I was killing a bunch of bad guys and getting so many nanites and stuff. Yo, buddy, how's it going? How's it going, friendo? What'd it really do? Completely invisible. Yeah, man. And we're here. And we're down. I'm getting some fungal mold for a second. I was, this is the tail end of a very long stream. Okay. SpongeBob, big guy, pants okay. I always get turned around all the time. All the time. How is it even possible that I'm like right exactly where I need to be? And there it is. I need some fungal mold, and hopefully we can kill some bad guys. They'll show up. Oh, my boost is better. I recently got an upgrade for my boost. I can fly a bit further with my Minotaur. And again. I'll do this until the bad guys show up. Alright. There he is. You know, I want to kill him.
Weapon charge depleted.
That's nice.
Technology recharge.
It is really worth it to fight these guys, by the way. And I need more Mordite.
Sentinel combat unit deployed. Inventory full.
There you go. And again, Yeah, that is way better. It's awesome. The upgrade I got. The game says you don't need music. If you don't need music, you're fine. You don't need no music. I was doing this for a while earlier. Thank you. But it's really worth it. That is awesome. Okay, I'm gonna go back now. Good. Weapon charge depleted. Super easy. On foot, because if I go now, they'll follow me in the sky. What if I use this? Nope. Very good. Mm-hmm. And now I'm going to head on down to the other base. Okay. I'm going to get another rotation or so. Yeah, this is like way better, that boost. That was inside, I don't know. Brain? A quad servo? Yeah. Sentinel Walker. great. I was over there on the corrupted planet for a bit, but there's no punium. It was just the other stuff, the Atlantidium stuff. What is this? You in the ground or what? It's in a cave? What in the world's happening here? Oh, it's like a really big... It's like really, really big? And it's underground. Well, that's unfortunate that it spawns underground and I can't see it. This happened to me before. Come on out. Trying to help him. Come on out. There you go. Whoa. Goodbye, legs. Yeah. 122 pugnium on that guy. And what do I got? Nothing. Ooh, a walker brain. It worked. It worked. Oh my gosh. My first walker brain I've gotten through direct combat. You hate the giant worms? And they're 50 nanites. Okay, so now I can go. Shut up. No, I haven't purchased the specialized. I hate when people ask about things I don't have. I'm never going to answer that question.
Technology recharge.
Scum of the earth, I tell you what. Scum of the earth. Alley-oop. Alley down. Oh my gosh. Hilarious, I know. Bosco 1. Yeah. Shut up. Woohoo! Tell me about things I don't have. Stupid. Does that make you feel better about yourself? Yeah. Shazam. Whee. Just a little bit. Don't mind me. We'll kill the animals as they come. Okay. No, it's just gaslighting. Yoo-hoo! I'm not going to give you 15 analogies to explain my point. I'll let you make them up yourself. I'm sure you could possibly do that. Oh yeah. I'll give you one analogy, okay? Imagine you're watching a stream with a person playing a game like, let's say, Dead Souls sort of game, and you know about the weapons and everything, and they're using a dagger combo that there's a mod for those daggers that creates a gravity field with every attack, and they clearly don't have the gravity field attack, and it's clearly the next upgrade for that dagger, and there's like only one upgrade tree for that dagger, and it's called the gravity field dagger, and you don't have the gravity field upgrade yet, and then a person stupidly asks them, do you have the gravity upgrade for your dagger yet? The person says no. Then what is the next thing? What next? No, I don't. They exist. Thank you. Get it? That's analogy 1. I'll give you 14 more later on. I'm choosing to not use it. On purpose. Okay. Okay. I think these guys are on cooldown for a bit.
Technology recharge.
Okay, I think this cycle's done. Every so often I do a bunch of loops. You know? One more loop, and then I'll head to the newest base location. And then I'll kind of wrap up this stream. I was live for a long time. I was live for 12 hours before the stream, and, you know, here we are. I've gotten all the things I wanted to get done. Last loop. Last loop. Land. I'm gonna build a landing pad there.
Technology recharge.
Okay, that's it, and then well, that's it. Glass. Have a good day. Yep. All done. So now I'm gonna head down to the. I'm gonna wrap it up by heading down to the final base location. Which isn't here. The base I'm trying to build up in the future. The newest spot that isn't even on the favorite list. This one. That one. Maybe? It's going to be a glorious base. This is what I'm going to be building up tomorrow. We got this good footprint here. You see what I'm doing here? How cool it's going to be? Oh my gosh. It's going to be so good. Look at that, see? I got this big operation going on with this phosphorus. Oh no. Wait, one second. Whew. Yeah. And I was farming the heck out of these crystals. There we go. Okay, all done. Yep, the Atlantidium. Well, I think that's about it, everybody. I've done so much. Here, I'm gonna do one final thing. I'm just gonna put up a single little vending thing. So thank you for watching, and I'll be live later. Okay. That's pretty funny. It's impossible. The game said, "You serious? You expect me to give you ferrite? After all that ferrite production we've been through in our lives? Not that. I'll use not even the..." So thank you for watching. I'll be live tomorrow sometime. Okay? Just trying to get a tiny bit of what if I did that? No. A tiny bit of magnetized ferrite. Goodbye, everybody. Oh my gosh. It was a horrible storm. That was fast. I just wanted to sell this stuff here. $63 million there. And that makes sense. In a cold system, you sell the hot stuff. In a hot system, you sell the cold stuff. Makes perfect sense. Yep, 150 million. Cool, I'm back up beyond a billion. So beyond 2 billion. I'm at 2.1 billion. So thank you for watching, everybody, and I'll be live tomorrow. Yay and goodbye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Like and subscribe. Yes.